Hello students, in this lecture video, I'll be telling you about principles of treatment and prevention. So now to treat any disease means that the person is suffering from a disease and now the chance has come to treat the infectious disease. Now there are two ways to reduce this infectious disease effects. One is to reduce the symptoms, means to reduce the effects. And another is to reduce the cause of disease, means either it is symptom directed or it is pathogen directed. Okay, so this affects, to reduce effects means we are reducing symptoms. For example, we are taking medicines to bring down fever, to treat our headache or nausea, vomiting. All right. And even bed rest is given to some people in certain cases where it is felt to conserve energy and for recovery, it is better. So this is symptom directed treatment. Next is pathogen directed treatment, means to kill the microbes, okay, using medicines which will kill these microbes, which can be viruses, bacteria, fungi and protozoa. So as we know by our knowledge that these microbes are different, so the medicines for all these will also be different. So because they have different mechanism, different pathways, like we had seen that antibiotics will be effective against bacteria but not against viruses. Similarly, antiviral drugs are difficult to make than the bacterial drugs. Why is so? Because the viruses, they enter our cells and use our machinery. So firstly, we have to see that antiviral drug doesn't, hinder or any harm is done to the host cell. It only affects the virus cell. Okay, has to be virus specific. Then the virus specific targets are very few. Why? Because viruses, they don't have their biochemical pathways. Even if biochemical pathways are there, that is in less in number. But there are some antiviral drugs. Next, coming to principles of prevention. Now, prevention is considered better than cure. Yes. So preventing a disease means avoiding a disease, avoiding any disease. That is prevention, means how we can avoid getting a disease. Now, there are certain limitations to deal with infectious agents. What are these limitations? First is that if someone has a disease, their body functions are damaged. So maybe they will never recover. Second is treatment will take time, and during this time, another person can get infected. And third is this suffering, the source of infection has to be taken care of. Now, it is always better to prevent disease. So there are two methods. One is general method and another is specific method. Now, in general method, we will look at the means of spread. Like for airborne diseases, we can prevent the exposure by not going in overcrowded places. For waterborne diseases, we can prevent exposure by providing safe drinking water. For a vector-borne disease, we will take care that we are in clean environment so that the breeding of mosquitoes is less. So public hygiene is the basic key over here. Now, another thing taken into consideration is our immune system. If our immune system is good, it will fight out the microorganisms. If immune cells, they can manage to kill the infection long before symptoms are observed, so it is always better. That is why these days main focus is on immunity. Now, how you can boost your immune system? By having physical exercise plus proper sufficient nourished food. All right. So main thing is balanced diet and physical exercise, which will help you to prevent diseases. Now, these were the general things. Let us look at specific factors, the specific way of preventing diseases. That is vaccination. Now, what is vaccination? It is a process to get a vaccine. And these vaccinations or vaccine contains weak or dead form of the pathogen itself. Like if we are talking about coronavirus vaccine these days, what we are talking about? That these vaccines will contain weak or dead form of coronavirus only. So when it enters the body, our body recognizes this antigen and starts producing antibodies. So that one memory is created, or you can say immune cells will have memory. Why? if by chance you get exposed to the virus or to that particular pathogen, then already memory cells are there, immune cells are there. So they will give a heightened response. Okay, why heightened response? Because initially few cells are already there. So they will get this signal and they will start multiplying. So this process in which our body responds by producing multiple antibodies is called as immunization. So you can say vaccination leads to immunization. All right, vaccination leads to immunization. So now there are a lot of vaccines which are available in the, you can say you have also taken these vaccinations like against tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, the polio virus, okay, many others. So the public health programs since childhood, the vaccination programs are there. Now, a very interesting fact, the last fact of this chapter is that there are certain hepatitis viruses that cause jaundice and it is transmitted through water. Mainly, it is transmitted through the contaminated water. But in many parts of India, the children are already immune to this hepatitis A. Why? Because they are exposed to the contaminated water. So without getting vaccination also, they have been exposed in little amount. So already in the body, the memory cells or immune cells are there and they have been immunized.